Welcome back to the show. Our next guest is Butch Buchanico, Sports Director at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City. Butch, welcome to the show.
Mike, my pleasure, buddy.
Listen, man, a long time coming here. This guy's got it going on when it comes to sports. Back in the day with the Eagles, we're going to talk about Pop a little bit and whatnot, and what you're doing there, of course, at Hard Rock. But tell us about you a little bit, please.
Yeah, I spent 28 years on the Philadelphia Police Department. I decided it was time to move on and come down here and retire a little bit. Well, my retirement brought me to the managing the sportsbook business. I opened up the sportsbook at Ocean. When Hard Rock got theirs, I moved over to there. And it's been an interesting ride, but when you have a job that you enjoy, they say it's really not a job. And right now, I'm enjoying life. I mean, I get to talk to a lot of different people and look at sports all day long.
I see it by the smile on your face, and that's when we got to meet at Ocean Casino Resort. God bless Bruce Steifek, who was a very good friend of mine and of yours. And you know what they did there with that sports book, and then it was kind of a new thing to us then. You know, it was like, you know, something that we should have had 30 years ago, but now here it is. It's coming big and bad, and you know, just tell us about how that was the infant stages of it in Atlantic City.
Yeah, well, the funny thing was, I was my brother-in-law who lives in the area. He sent me one night. I was sitting in the squad room, and he sent me one night an email that basically said there was an opening for a sportsbook manager in Atlantic City. It hadn't started yet. This was in I want to say May. Actually, it was May 31st. And I looked at I says, I don't have these. He says, just send it in anyway. So that was May 31st. I sent it in. June 19th, I was hired to work at Ocean, and the rest is history. And now here I'm down here, and the infant stages, it was an exciting time behind the scenes. A lot of hard work was put into all these sports books in Atlantic City. A lot of planning. It was a thing that had to be done quickly. A lot of casinos, as you know, casino floor space is at a premium, and all the casinos in Atlantic City. So it was where they were going to put it, how big they were going to do it, because it was new. And New Jersey, everybody always says, oh, it's never going to be Vegas. Well, we're not trying to be Vegas. We're trying to be New Jersey. Right. And it didn't take long for New Jersey's sportsbook industry to pass Vegas, and that's where we're at now.
I love how you say that, too, because I say that quite a bit. Well, we're not this, we're not. That was built to be what it was. It was set there in that position in Nevada and Las Vegas. But what we do is a little different out here. And to your point with the sports book, now, we talked about it quite a bit on the radio show. The folks out there know that we do a radio show. Tell people a little bit before we get into getting to know, when it comes to placing a bet, could get a little intimidating at times. Tell us how easy it is and the intricacies of it.
Yeah, I mean, when you walk up to a sports book, whether you're a sports fan or not, it can be intimidating. You see all these monitors with a lot of numbers on it. It kind of looks like the chalkboard of a calculus classroom.
Right.
And, you know, you got big screen TVs, and you got sporting events playing loud, and you look up and you see some imposing figures standing at a window just staring at you. And a lot of people kind of do the about face, but we make it an experience where it's a teaching experience, and we don't want people to be intimidated. We want to teach people. Basically, it's as simple as just walking up, telling the person at the window, the writer or the clerk, what would you like? You know, a lot of people, they'll say their favorite team. Yeah, I just want my favorite team to win. And it's really that simple. Now, for the more experienced person, and as you know more, there's a lot more options, right, you know, and there's a lot more different ways and types. But for the person that's just starting out, or the person, especially this time of the year, that just wants to get involved, it's just as simple as just walking up to the window and just tell them what you want. Really, folks, we don't bite. We enjoy getting to know you.
And you want people to bet with their head, have fun, enjoy the experience, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
You know? So when you talk about that, we got so much going on at this time that we're in right now as we do this interview. You know, football, baseball, hockey, basketball, football, soccer, which we call here in America. How is it there? I mean, you have everything for everyone there?
We have everything for everyone, everything that's live. We make it's kind of my rule that if there's a live event on, especially a live event that's available, that it will be on the screen. But as you said, just to add on to what you said, this is an excellent time of year for a sports fan because you got all of them going on. It's the only, October and a little bit of November is the only time where you'll have all 4 major sports, college football and college basketball, all going at the same time. And what we're really excited about, when sports betting first came to New Jersey, it was a World Cup year. This is now a World Cup year. So we're really excited about the World Cup, which will be starting up in November. That'll bring a whole nother class of people. I mean, they come into the sports book proud of their nation. They got all the colors on and they're screaming at the TV. And that's pretty much every Sunday for the NFL. People are screaming at the TV. Half the time I got to run out of the office and look and see what game they're screaming at because it's interesting. But yeah, this time of year, we have something for everyone. And we show golf and tennis and NASCAR. I mean, I have 46 TVs and I just got a brand new LED wall that I could configure the way I want. So we have, at any given time, for instance, on a Saturday, college football, I'll have 18 games going at once.
Right.
That are being played
Love
live. So it's we love the people. I love the people.
Listen,
and,
I'm a big pro sports fan, but I have to say I love my college football because you get such a choice. And just watching and then going into your place and checking it out on TVs, do you have one or another that gets more play or whatnot? How is it out here? Or is that something we don't take?
Well, usually, Penn State, Notre Dame, the usual. And then you got little pockets of people from the area, alumni of schools, that will come. Maybe they're spending the weekend in town and they'll show up and they'll want to watch their team on TV and they'll cheer and they may place a little wager on a game and they'll enjoy themselves. And it's fun. But college football is my favorite too, but for the same reason. I mean, on a Saturday afternoon, we could have people inside the sportsbook area that's from 18, 20 different schools.
Right. And then when we get home too, our ladies will be asleep or whatnot. We can still watch these late games all day long. So I love it. I love college football, always have. Had an opportunity to meet one of my favorite, and we're going off script here, Brian Bosworth, who was over in Atlantic City, Saltwater, a few months ago. There was an event in town, a sports signing,
yes.
This memorabilia, and just a cool guy. But I was like, this is, Atlantic City is the Mecca. When you say Atlantic City, people from all over the world. We spoke about this briefly. Butch, I want to get into a little bit what Hard Rock, that relationship you have with it, the company, and then also what they're doing. I mean, a couple weeks ago, as we aired this interview, the Atlantic City Boxing Hall of Fame, you had some of the greatest walk-around entertainers, Hall & Notes. Some of the stuff, tell us what that experience is for you to work there. Because, again, as a former law enforcement officer myself, this is 2 totally different worlds in which we're working in now. And what you're doing is incredible. And then with that brand.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the place is always full of energy, whether you're there 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday or 10 o'clock at night on a weekend. There's always something going on. The place is full of energy. Hard Rock is like a family atmosphere for its employees. It takes care of its employees like no other. They've been great to me. They're great to my people, and they kind of let the employees, the team members, as we call them, be themselves. There's regulations and rules and stuff like that, obviously, but they let the team members be themselves. They encourage people's imagination, people's ideas, which may be different in some places. So that kind of helps the fact that goes hand in hand with the energy. Like you said, the events they have there, the entertainment that comes to town is, Hard Rock is doing their best to bring Atlantic City back where it's supposed to be. And
listen, with the brand, and like you said, you mentioned some of the folks, Joe Lupa, who just recently moved on back to Vegas, and Anthony, who's in charge of the house now. It's a team. I mean, anytime I've ever spoke to those gentlemen and yourself as a director, you're always talking about the team. And I love what you do there. Folks want to work there, and I get why. I mean, it's between the events, the restaurants, the sports book, and what goes on in that place. It's incredible. At one time, I remember before Hard Rock and Ocean Casino opened. It was a lonely end down that end. It was quiet. There was not happening. Not a lot happened. Showboat was bought by Bart Bladstein. Steel Pier was there for entertainment in that way, but that was it. And then you guys came into town and Ocean. So I want to say I appreciate it and want to thank you. So we're going to talk a little bit here. We got a few minutes left. I'm going to drop back and I want to talk about a guy I used to see on the Eagles sideline. And I remember watching games in my 20s and 30s and climbing the fence at the Vet, and I would be watching on TV, and I was like, man, who's that guy with that big mustache there and looks mean, but he's smiling, getting hugged by Buddy, and this one was your dad.
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about that history and you have with the Eagles and football and stuff.
Yeah, my father, I followed in his footsteps, 31 years with the Philadelphia Police. He retired as the Mayor M. Rendell at the time. He was his chief of security. And when Jeffrey Lurie bought the team, they were at an event together, and he had mentioned to my father, where could I get somebody like you to watch my investment, to keep an eye on the investment? And my father was ready to retire at the time, and my father said, right here. Right. My father, lifelong Eagles fan. I mean, threw many things at the TV over the years. Exactly. And, Jeff Lurie said, I have to get the mayor's blessing, I don't want to take you away. And Ed Rendell at the time was tight with my dad, and he said, no, I give you, do what you got to do. It's going to be a great thing. And then he needed an assistant he could trust, so he asked me. I got permission at the time with the police department. I used my vacation, holiday time and stuff to travel. So basically, he did it for 15 years, but for 13 years, every weekend during the football season, I was traveling with the team. I was fortunate enough to get to be on the field in Jacksonville with my dad for the Super Bowl. It was work, and everybody thought it was a glamorous job, but there was a lot of things behind the scenes that my dad took care of, and we'll just leave it at that. Right. But there was a reason, exactly. There was a reason why the Eagles were always one of the best franchises as far as keeping people out of trouble in the eyes of the NFL, and that was my dad.
Love it. Love it. So listen, folks, we're talking with Butch Buchanico over at Hard Rock. We're going to be having him back on real soon. Butch, we appreciate you coming to the show. Listen, man, go Eagles, go Phillies, go whatever. I don't know. You know how I am. But thank you so much. Let them know. Give them a little goodbye. Yeah,
go to hardrockcasino.com. Go to our social media pages, and you'll get more information, more in detail information of some of the stuff we talked about today. And come say hello to me. I'm there every day, just like Mike does.
There you go, folks. Thanks again to Butch Buchanico, Sportsbook Director at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Atlantic City, for being on the show. Stick around. We'll be right back.